Hey, everybody. It's Monday.
Let's get this show going, man.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans, with your hosts, Jesse Martin.
The Cowboys are finished, you understand me?
John Taman.
Pull down my trousers and do your job.
Scott Hartley.
Well, that was dreadful.
And occasionally, Keith Gregg.
So many social engagements, so little time.
And now, your host,
John Taman. Oh, hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm John Taman. I'm your host, and welcome to Monday afternoon's show for after the divisional playoffs. We're going to discuss a little bit of Commanders stuff today. I ruffled some feathers over the weekend by having the audacity to say I really didn't like the logo. And one of the people here on my podcast came after me like with a stick with a nail in it, and we'll have to discuss that. But anyway, so I guess we'll start off right now with, hey, how you doing, my friend over there, Jesse Martin? We can see Jesse today. Look, he's got his whole face on the camera. It says,
normally when I do the show at my house, like John says, I look like I'm recording a terrorist video.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I got a nice little light, and yes, I got caught in traffic on the way home, so I knew I wouldn't have time to go to my parents to do the podcast, so I had to do it here on my phone. So,
oh well, when you have parents that live in a radio station, it's always great audio when they're available to be able to use that.
Great.
Down below, you can see our good friend from Barrow and Furnace, UK, who I will happen to tell you right now is walking around in his freaking house in the smallest pair of shorts I think I've ever seen Scotty wear. He says, "I'll be right back, Mike. Got to get up for the camera." And he got up and he walked away, and I thought, so you had a tornado this week.
We did. Yeah, well, it had a tornado warning anyway. Yeah, Storm Aisha, yeah, 99-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, it was quite good. So yeah, I mean, my wheelie bins were safe, so that was about it. Right, I mean, if you're a roofer in this business and you're into into putting tiles on roofs and stuff, happy days, because the wind's still up a bit. I mean, it's probably gusting at about 50 to 60 mile an hour now, but
lead roofing, is that what you said? Lead roofing?
No, it used to be lead, but now it's like obviously it's slates and tiles, isn't it? So it's many moons ago it was lead roofing, but yeah, we're not there now. Thatched cottages, John.
It begs the question. I mean, yeah, granted they didn't realize that lead would turn you into a drooling idiot after a while. But how is it that they went, right, let's take the heaviest fucking shit we got out here on a job site and put it on top of all the sticks? What the fucking thought of that shit? That's the roof.
I know, that's why they call them the hatters, isn't it? Or used to be called a mad hatter, because every time you used to make a thatched hat, you used to dip it in lead and lick it and then carry on, and that turned them insane. Yeah. Quite good, really. But there you go. We've gone off tangent again. But yeah, it's been a busy week. It's been one of them weeks where, we were like that last night. I actually went for a shower and I thought, I'll open the window just slightly. I thought the fucking bath was going to take off. I was like, where am I going here? Jesus, I couldn't believe it.
Jesse, why do I get the feeling that you go to the toy department to buy a wheelie bin?
No.
I don't know.
Wheelie bin. I'll have to get just Google wheelie bin. If you're not from the UK,
I understand exactly what it is.
Yeah,
My imagination can capture it.
Trash bin. Yeah, trash bin.
Whatever you want to call it. A wheelie bin. All right. Anyway, I guess that means he's riding it down the street only on one wheel. All right. So anyway, we are here to talk a little bit of football today. The Commanders, really not a whole lot of news going on other than that they interviewed Eric Bieniemy over the weekend, which I think surprised some people and irritated some people. But man, it's just, to me, it's just they're doing their due diligence. You've got him in the building. You would be stupid to not talk to him, at least to find out whether or not. I mean, he's the assistant head coach. I think you owe it to him to at least give him an interview. What do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, he's there. He's still under contract. He's still in the fucking building, so I don't see any harm on it. I mean, the only harm I would see is if they actually fucking hired him, but they're not going to. I don't.
We would all, we'd look at everything and say, well, hey, Eric, welcome to the Commanders. You are our brand new head coach. And he would say, fuck. Hey, don't forget, when that thing is playing, we can talk over it.
they were talking about this on the radio today, and of course, loudmouth Brian Mitchell was all like saying that the whole coaching staff turned against Eric Bieniemy. Ron threw him under the bus. Yeah, it's such fucking bullshit. I can't believe people still fucking listen to this shit. It's ridiculous how it goes from Ron just diarrhea of the mouth, just saying something that he probably shouldn't have said, but really wasn't a big deal. But
what did he say?
They made it a big deal. Hey, he was just saying that players came to him and said that they were coaching him too hard. That Bieniemy was coaching them too hard, and all Ron said was, "Go talk to Eric Bieniemy."
Oh, that's right. Then earlier in the season, I thought he said something.
Earlier in the season. But Brian Mitchell took that and totally flipped it around, saying that he said this today, that the whole coaching staff turned on Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, it was just horse shit. You know, people are trying to throw a pity party for Eric Bieniemy. Bottom line is he did not do a good enough job. Period. To give us. Give the new owners any thought that he could actually take this job and run with it. I mean, the players don't even like him, so why would they hire him?
I think that this has a lot to do with why 14 teams have turned him down. Although I doubt that he would be standing up in meetings yelling at him about how you fucking ask your questions with some heart. You understand? I don't think that that's going to be happening. But Scott. So, do you think he stands a chance to get the job, or are they just doing a formality?
No, I don't. I think it's a formality more than anything. I'm also, it's telling when you're not getting calls from other organizations as well, not just for head coaching candidates, but even for other jobs. Because quite honestly, they must know that when you have a head coaching change, the vast majority of the time, most of the coordinators are gone as well. They're not in. So. He's not getting calls from, the likes of any other team that's got an opening at either DC or at OC. I mean, he's never been a DC, I get that, but any other offensive coordinator role, he's not even getting a call for that. I mean, even look at Ron today. Apparently, there's talks of him, getting an interview with the Eagles. So, it is what it is. He hasn't got a chance to get this job. That's absolutely there, but you have to do your due diligence, and it's good that the organization is doing that because what they've got internally, as well as knowing, right, he's not the guy. I think this week as well, we've got Dan Quinn for a interview face-to-face, and we also have Raheem Mostert as well. Raheem Mostert, keep saying that.
Why do you keep saying that?
I don't know. I just too many Raheems. I can't get my head around a Miami Dolphins running back. I don't know what I'm doing. It's what's his name? Is the LA
Raheem
Morris. It's the same. It's RM. That's why I'm getting it wrong.
I get it, completely. I get it. I don't have any idea who's going to be our head coach. I know who I would like to have be as our head coach, and quite frankly, the only reason that I would like him as our head coach is just fanboy reasons. I liked what the Lions are doing. I like the way that they're doing things. I like the way that Johnson has been there during the build of this team. That people are not going to just freak out and think that this shit happens overnight. I do have a couple of things to say. I do think it's interesting that Ron Rivera and the Eagles, that would be a trip. He'd look at that linebacker they picked up from Georgia in the draft a couple years ago. What the fuck does this guy do?
Thinking about that today, I was thinking about. I think Ron would be fine in that job. That team needs leadership. That team needs motivation, and I think he'd be okay. I mean, all kinds of people were giving Ron shit today about it, but if Ron just gets down to coaching, that's his roots. That's what got him a head coaching job, is coaching defense. I don't think he'd be bad at it.
People can fuck off, really. I mean, if Eagles fans want to complain about it, I get it, and that's fine with me. That's not my problem. Commanders fans, dude, let the dude alone. Now he's going to go get another job.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Brian Mitchell talking his shit. Now, here's a question that I ask, because Ron Rivera, culture change. That's the one thing that everybody's putting their hat on. Ron's a great guy. He did change the culture. Well, not according to the shit Brian Mitchell is saying, that everybody's torpedoing fucking EB, that the coaching staff's all going after EB. There's all this fucking cloak and dagger and all this goddamn backroom shit. Dude, is the culture changed, or is Brian Mitchell full of shit? I think I know the answer to that question, and it rhymes. Let's see if you can get this, Scott. It rhymes with Schmein, Schmitzel's, Bush, or Schmidt. All right.
Brian did get that, yeah.
Listen, I said this last week on Friday. That motherfucker left this town when he went to the New York Giants and spit on the fans every chance he could when he said he was coming back here to play against us. He couldn't wait to fucking return one so he could rub it in our goddamn faces. When he was with the Eagles, he said the same shit. And now he came back on the radio, and I'm fucking, man, I do not forget. Everybody's telling me, man, he was a great Redskin. Fuck all. I'll tell you what. You want to know what Brian Mitchell's doing with all this goddamn bullshit that he's making up about this? He is pivoting more than he ever did as a return man. He was a great return man with a gigantic hole. If that dude had one move, he could have scored I don't know how many times. How many times you see the punter or the kicker tackle Brian Mitchell? Not you, Scott. You weren't even around. You were still watching rugby back in those days.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think
Scott
it probably was, to be honest.
Match cooking. This is really not for me. I need something else.
Yeah, John was in Baghdad before I was in my dad's bag, so you know what I mean? It is what it is.
All right, well. All right. So I really think that right there, when you talk about culture change, all right, the coach can change all the culture that he can possibly change within the locker room. All right, fine. Players didn't like that. Well, guess what? Players don't like that anymore. Okay. That's not how these are grown men. They're not children. All right. And all these people, they say, oh, you got to be tough. You got to be fucking tough. You got to take that shit, man. You people are a bunch of softies. Well, it didn't work at all, did it? It didn't work even slightly. They fucking mutinied on him, and they fucking wouldn't. I mean, dude, the thing I go back to is Jahan Dotson's postseason interview when he was cleaning out his locker. That dude looked like somebody had just shot his dog, and you know, so
BNC had total control of this offense, total fucking control of this offense. Okay.
And telling Sam to go out there and run around and shit.
Yeah, and look, we got these second interviews coming in. We got Dan Quinn coming in and Raheem Morris. And those guys they're known around the league. Every player that's played for both of them, they love them. They think I'm seeing, even though I'm not on Team Morris, I just think I think there's better out there. You know, it wouldn't move me. I'm more intrigued by Dan Quinn than I am Raheem Morris, because
Dan Quinn's got a better resume.
Yeah, he's been there, done that, and players love playing with him. I mean, the big question with one of these two guys coming in would be, who would they come in to run the offense and run the defense? Obviously, they'd probably be more on the defensive side and the leadership side, which I agree with what, Adam Peters said. We can't be pigeonholed into one, certain aspect of the ball, whether offense or defense, but you do need to find a leader. But that leader, whoever they find, need to find, if it's Ben Johnson, great. That's my number one. But he needs to find a kick-ass fucking defensive coordinator, preferably one with a lot of experience. If it's Dan Quinn or Raheem Morris, they need to find a kick-ass offensive coordinator, because we're going to have a young quarterback, whether we draft one at number 2 or if stick with Hal. They need to find someone that's going to be able to, get the most out of them and groom them the right way. Man, that's the thing. That's what failed Hal, is he was not groomed the right way. So whoever is running this offense, that's.
I'll tell you what, I've grown up watching all kinds of nature shows and National Geographic specials, and I've seen monkeys grooming themselves in the tree. It doesn't look really all that fucking hard. You just grab whatever itches and eat it. And that shit should be easy. The thing I'm going to ask you this, and I'm going to throw a wrench right into these fucking works. What if Mr. Peters, who we all trust, right? We're all going to be behind whatever Peters says. What if Peters says Eric Bieniemy is our head coach? Then
you're just trying to get a rouse out of everybody.
I'm just trying. What else do we got to talk about today?
I know.
Scott,
for me, ahead. John, it doesn't.
What if he does?
You got to trust what they're going to do. I mean, honestly, we were talking about this earlier. People in the group chat were talking about bloody quarterbacks and who we're going to take and what we're going to do. I don't care. I'm a stupid fan who has to accept that they're going to do this correctly and say, yeah, okay, I'll put my trust in you. Because if he thinks it's the right thing to do and he thinks he can get enough out of Eric Bieniemy, then so be it. That's his decision. My ass isn't on the line. I'm a fan. His job's on the line.
Your ass is on a plane. So, coming over here to watch a game.
Yeah, most likely. But at the end of the day, he is, his arse is on the line as a job. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. They will get this hire right. McDonald over at the Ravens, he is looking very, very good. So if you want to take him, I'd be very impressed if it's him. I think they're the top two candidates. Him and Ben Johnson are the two. I don't think they're going to go for Bobby Slowick. I think they look at that and say, you know what, you probably don't have enough. You're too young and you haven't got enough experience from there. I know Ben Johnson's only got an extra year if Scott G's in the chat. I get that. But look at the difference in what they're calling in plays. In what they're calling in plays, look at what they're doing.
And look what he's done with that offense for the past 2 years.
Correct.
Great.
Jared Goff isn't an amazing
playing like a number one overall pick, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. He's doing what he can do. He's doing the business. And at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. And it's taken a bit of time to rebuild that Lions squad. I get that. But he's been there from when it was shit to where it is now. And he's helped build that core and build that strength of that team up through offense. Look at Armor. You can't have two over 1,000 yard backs. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 1,500 yards or whatever it is, and then think, oh yeah, it's okay. Look at Sam Laporta as well. They've been unbelievable this year on offense.
Laporta's
and then you think, well,
look
at McDonald's. Look at McDonald's. What he's been doing at the Ravens. They've got the best defense in football.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we're going to talk about that, let me show you these Ravens fans. We were talking about fans just a minute ago, and we're all stupid fans. But you know what? This is what it's like. Scott, you said, John, I wish somebody just record you watching the game. Oh my God, I was having so much fun. Right? So
it was brilliant. No?
This is how I watched the game. Let me tell you something. I love HD TV for this because when they show me the crowd, I can look at the crowd. Right? I can see all kinds of shit in the crowd. I like to watch baseball because half the time when they show the batter and he stands back and he's spitting and he's looking around and he's doing like this, I'm looking at all the people behind him because you find the goofiest looking motherfuckers that there are. Like, look at these fans right here from Baltimore. Okay, did you see my fan of the day? Look at here. Here we go. Here he is. That boy is fucking cold, man. He's not having a good time at all.
He does not care, does he? He's like, get me out of here now.
This dude wearing the Ray Lewis shirt hasn't taken a shower in a week.
I think he had one too many gummies. He looked out.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know, Scotty. I think I'm the opposite of you, man. I'm not a dumb fucking fan. I fucking know shit. I'm probably the smartest GM or couch GM there is. So if these motherfuckers hire someone fucking stupid, I'm gonna get pissed. I'm gonna go right up to the fucking office and fire every fucking one of them. Like, seriously.
No, in all seriousness, we've all got an idea of what we want. That's a certainty. But we are fans, and unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do about it. I honestly do not think they are going to internally hire Eric Bieniemy. But
for real, on the real though, if they do hire Eric Bieniemy, I'd start questioning shit. I'm sorry, I would too. I would start questioning shit. I absolutely would. If I know people are getting so high on Jaden Daniels. If we spend the second round or the second overall pick on him, I'm sorry. I'm going to start questioning shit. Like,
we're fans. We deserve the right to do that, even those of us that are so stupid that we think we're smart.
If we, draft Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm going to question that move. Like that.
Like Bowers.
That don't make sense.
Stop.
We've been dealing with shit that don't make sense. Trying to, play that card. Like, okay, well, the coaches, they know more than us. We're going to trust the coaches. We've played those cards, okay? That hand fucking flopped, like, totally, like, seriously. So, yeah, we got to be patient, and we got to understand that they're way, way fucking smarter than us, like, seriously. But, you hire Eric Bieniemy, that's a fucking head scratcher, man. That'd be a total fucking head scratcher.
I would agree. I think that it would be a complete head scratcher. I was just throwing it out there because, hey, if you're going to interview him, that means the possibility does exist. So
I think they're doing it out of due diligence and out of necessity and a bit of a we'll interview because we think that's right. What I was going to say though is I put this question in the group chat talking about quarterback, and obviously you've got a bit of a back and forward all the time on it. And I just thought, do you know what? What would you do if let's just for argument's sake say the Bears, who control this draft completely, they take Caleb Williams? Are you sticking with at 2 and saying, you know what, we're going to take Drake May? I've heard a lot of mixed reviews. I've heard a lot of people saying, I'm in an RN about him. But I've also heard other people saying, yes, he is legit. He is amazing. Or do you play the bird in the hand and trade for Justin Fields? And then you can build the roster that way. You maybe go, if it was me, and this is me looking at that intentionally, I rather want to know what a known commodity is. And in a known commodity, you know what Justin Fields can do for you. Would I take Justin Fields? Not with the second overall pick.
The thing that I would have my most biggest concern with, Jessica, real quick, is the fact that there's only 10 minutes to make the number 2 pick. And if the Bears did that with Matt Eberflus still sitting there with Fields, I would laugh. And I would hope, oh my God, I hope I don't laugh for the whole time.
Oh, look, John, Fields will be good. If we will know, they'll show their hand soon enough. By April.
Oh, I know they will.
They are gonna trade Justin Fields.
I've been saying this and I find that hard to believe because for me, again, I'm gonna be laughing because you're gonna keep Matt Eberflus, who is 7-24 or something like that. He's got a horrible
doesn't matter.
And you're gonna let him have the number 1 pick again?
Yeah.
No.
Look, like I think Fields is. It depends on who's coming in to run this offense. He's not the most accurate passer in the world. He doesn't process very, very well. So you got to cater an offense around him. What he does have is great athletic ability, like serious athletic ability.
But that'll deteriorate. That will.
It also depends on what you have to give up to give him, because remember, Fields is going into his 5th year, so he's only got that 1 year left on his contract. He's going to be due for a contract soon. So I'm not giving up anything more than our 3rd round compensatory pick that we got from the 49ers. That's it.
If we managed to do that, I'd be all right with that. But honestly, I would think that at that point, if we know that they're going to go Caleb Williams, all right, and that's the guy we really, really want, and they just think that Drake May, I think Drake May looks pretty good. But you got to look at next year's quarterback crop, right? You got 2 quote unquote generational talent tackles sitting there, and both of them are capable of being one. All right. So do you trade back a couple of spots and let somebody in love with Drake May step up? Is that what
you can't rely on next year's quarterback crop, and you can't rely on that. We're going to be picking. That's
my point. There's always going to be one.
You can't. But you can't. No promises are made that we're going to be picking in the top 5 again, too.
No promise.
If we were going to go get a young quarterback, it has to be this year, like 100%.
My man, Hog Farmer Chris, coming in with a hot take. We are not taking a quarterback.
And Mrs. Bryant, please, Mrs. Bryant, give him a drug test.
No, don't do that. Nobody does Mrs. Bryant, for Christ's sake. I'll tell you what, though, man. If he says it's true, I gotta believe he's probably got some inside knowledge from.
Pete's just brought up a good bit in the chat there. So Shane Waldron, who is the OC in. Yeah,
I'm surprised he did not get more looks, more head coaching looks. That is an awesome hire. The Bears got a great, a really, really good offensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. I like Waldron. I like what he did. Now, maybe because they saw what he did with Geno Smith, maybe they're thinking that he can do that with Justin Fields.
Do you know what? It's okay. This is mad that we are in January, which is terrible. We haven't even had a Super Bowl yet. I mean, we haven't, and we're sitting here going, "Oh, do you know what? Let's talk about who's going to be first, which quarterback we're going to take." We've been doing this since November.
What's your favorite
sad,
crayon, Scott? I mean, what else?
I know, but it's just I get it.
Right.
If we're going to go that way, I mean, Drake May. I don't know. I'm not off anybody. I think Yam's right. Some people have got him number one above Caleb. Some have got him as not a very good prospect, Justin Herbert style. Others have said he's Jared Goff at best.
Jared Goff is a fucking guy in the NFC Championship. He's been to his Super Bowl. Okay. What's the problem here?
I still think you can retool this a better way. I still think if you traded for Justin Fields, you traded back with maybe the Patriots, you gained more picks, sold one of them picks off back to the Bears and said, thanks very much. You can
if you pick up one of those
very good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can get a very good left tackle then, and you can also build more in the draft. And then it's not as big a rebuild as you think it's going to be.
What's really interesting right now, there's a lot of talk about J.J. McCarthy from Michigan. A lot of scouts are wondering how he's going to do during the pro days and the combine. They're really looking forward to that because at Michigan, he's got talent, but at Michigan, that talent didn't really show because the type of offense that they run. They didn't run a pro style offense.
Right.
But from what I hear, he's a good quarterback that could very well shoot up draft boards during the the combine process.
One question for you though. Name me one Michigan quarterback that's ever done anything. I mean, other than Tom Brady, other than the greatest.
Yeah, exactly. Other than the GOAT. Yeah, okay.
Right. So, all right. So I've done fucking throwing landmines in front of y'all's feet about this kind of shit. Is there anybody else that has been eliminated from the playoffs this weekend who has anybody on their staff that we'd be interested in talking to?
No, I think there's four guys right now they're looking at. The only four guys, and they're going to get one of them. Obviously, it's going to be Dan Quinn, Raheem Morris, Ben Johnson, or Mike McDonald. I think it's down to those. They're bringing in.
What if the Bills blow up their because they got to be frustrated.
Nah.
Yeah, I think the Bills are right there. I think they need to get rid of some people and add a couple people. They need to add to their defense and get rid of Diggs and get another receiver in there.
Dude, that was
that ball that went right through fucking Diggs' hand. I mean, that was just pathetic. Pathetic. And it cost me money.
And they're wide right. Again, we might as well talk about.
Yeah, just gonna say, do you think Bass is gonna get his P45? Is that him on here's your pink slip, off you go? See that?
He's wide right. I wonder if Scott Norwood called him up last night. Hey, listen, buddy, it's all right. I'm still here. Scott, you don't even know who Scott Norwood was. Jesse, you're too young. Jesus Christ.
Norwood shit.
Wide
right. Yeah, I do.
When the Bills, Scott, when they went to 4 Super Bowls in a row and got beat 4 times in a row, the third time they got beat in the Super Bowl, they had this shit set up for a fucking field goal, and he missed. He was wide right. No time left on the clock. It's just like that. That was
all right, Chris. Thanks for jumping in. Now I got to say something about Holy Water's comment about North Carolina quarterbacks. Now listen, this is serious, and everybody's got. This is gospel. I'm about to spew out of my mouth.
Here it comes.
You cannot scout the helmet. It has nothing to do with the helmet that they wear on Saturday. It's about the player and the skills of the player. You can't. It doesn't matter from where they come from. North Carolina, Ohio. They said the same thing about Ohio State quarterbacks, and look what C.J. Stroud. I mean, he's freaking great. They used to say the same thing about Clemson or Auburn before Cam Newton and before Trevor Lawrence. Don't scout the team, scout the player. Period.
Yeah, I couldn't even figure that kind of stuff out. The only way that I would say that it is possible that you could do something like that is if it's the same quarterback coach. Like, look, for a long time, Jeff Tedford was a coach turning out quarterbacks into the NFL who fucking busted like crazy until Aaron Rodgers came along and kind of rewrote all of that. So, if you've got the same coach turning out the same problems with the same quarterbacks time and again. And yeah, you can say something like that. But this generational shit that goes back, who's ever put out a quarterback, not generational talent. I mean, in college football, generations of the teams, they turn over so fast, man. College coaching staffs, unless it's one of the iconic schools that's constantly in the playoff, their staff turns over quick, man, and their players turn over even faster. So, yeah,
I just think they've got to get it right this time, boys, and they will. I think they honestly will. I think this is now the off season where we get the person we've been waiting for 25 years. I think this is the next franchise quarterback. I think we have to. I honestly think we're going to get someone. I think these top two dudes are far and away above anything that we've seen in the last 6 years. I genuinely believe that. I think Caleb Williams and Drake May are better than every other quarterback that's come out in the last 6 years. I don't even think Trevor Lawrence is that good. Be honest with you.
I like Trevor Lawrence.
I do too. I think he is a franchise quarterback. Yes.
I think you're right about Caleb Williams. I think you're right about Caleb Williams. Drake May, I'm not 100% sold on Drake May. I think he's the second best quarterback in this draft. No questions.
That doesn't mean
about
much.
It. But
good for the last 3 years. Good, yeah, you played good. College. That's it.
But for me, I mean, it's Caleb Williams, and it's pretty far down there for second place.
I'll tell you what. For me, honestly, I don't know enough, and I'm okay enough to say that I don't know enough to be able to say this is the one I definitively want. The only one that I know enough about the one that I definitively want is Joe Alt. I definitively want to have that guy on my team.
Good. He really good.
He really is. And I think that of all the generational talents that they have all the damn time, they come along every once and again. And I think he could possibly be one.
D'Amico Ryans did it last year. So do we do it? Do we trade back up into
they had pick number 2 and 3.
I know, that's what I mean. But they had to trade for that third pick, didn't they?
They're going
to Holy Water is asking has there ever been a great quarterback from North Carolina? Has there been ever a great quarterback from Alabama? Has there been a great quarterback from Ohio?
Right.
Has there been Miami of Ohio? Like, was there ever a great quarterback that came out of there until Ben Roethlisberger?
What about where does fucking Josh Allen come from? Wyoming?
Yeah, it doesn't you can't scout. It doesn't matter where they're coming from, because coaches turn over all the time as well too. I mean, position coaches in college, they turn over all the time as well. So it's all about the player. It doesn't matter where they go, because there is 130 something NCAA schools out there that choose from a quarterback. I mean, these great quarterbacks only come once in a while, man. So if you do the math, which I'm not fucking very good at, you're talking about such a small percentage of a chance to get one from no matter where you're at. So if you seek one, it shouldn't matter what fucking school they come from.
No, I tell you what though, geographic location matters. All right, it used to mean that if you 60s, 70s, and 80s. Quarterbacks coming out of Western Pennsylvania. There were so many of them. It was crazy. Southern California and California in general. Mm-hmm. For a good long while there, Florida was producing NFL players like you wouldn't be. Not Florida University, the state.
Yeah, and then Texas,
players like you wouldn't believe. So
it's in Texas now too. I mean, it's they're coming from everywhere now. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what school that they're going that they're going to. It doesn't matter. I mean, he's played in a Power 5 conference. Just because he did play in the SEC, that doesn't make a fucking difference. It shouldn't make a difference. It's how the quarterback, what traits does he have, how strong his arm is, and his processing. That's it, man. That's what it takes to be a good quarterback. It doesn't matter what color helmet they put.
Keith would kill me if he was sitting here, but he's never here anymore, so I don't even know why I bring him up. But the fact of the matter is, in 1992, the Giants drafted a guy named Ed Trittle. They made him the quarterback. We beat the living shit out of him. Every team that played him beat the living shit out of him, and he sucked. He was terrible. I don't really want to have anything to go about all that, but I just like to talk about Giants quarterbacks that get the shit beat out of them. I have to make it up. I mean, you know what? You want to talk about small school quarterbacks. Fucking Phil Simms went to Morehead State. All right, where I believe the best way that you can get into Morehead State is to give Morehead, and Phil Simms did, and fuck him.
The only thing, exactly. The only thing I remember is that song about Phil Simms.
Fuck Phil Simms.
That whitehead hillbilly hippie.
White-haired hillbilly.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Phil Simms, you white-haired hillbilly. All right,
Scouse has asked there, does Tabitha Pritchard, and he spelled it that way on purpose, keep his job? I don't know. There's going to be positional coaching changes as well here, Scouse. We know that. We know that's going to make. They're going to bring their own. I do too. I mean, honestly, if we do not get a defensive backs coach in, is actually good at his jobs.
If I go get the linebackers coach, he's the first one in the office, and I don't yell at him. I just give him back his broom and say, "Okay, go back to your old job. Do what you were doing before they showed up."
Yeah. I don't think we have a shit quarterback from North Carolina. I don't agree with that. I think Sam
we had a he's a 5th round pick.
He's a low end starter, top end back tops.
He was just
for a few games.
Right. And we also had a shit offensive coordinator
correct
develop him. So I still think Sam could be good in this league if he was
I do too. If he's developed properly, if he's got the right people around him, the right things. They might do that. They might look and go, do you know what? We can trade back a bit and we can stick with Sam. I don't think they will. I really don't think they will, purely because we as fans and everybody else is thinking, where are we going to be picking second again? When are we ever going to do that again? Because
maybe next year
to be better. No, but we expect that to be better, but we might not be. We might be second, third, fourth again.
Look, their plan, I guarantee their plan is this. We're not going to pick this low again. Period.
Yeah.
That's the plan. So they have to work off their plan. If their plan is to not pick this, to win 6 or 7 games, that means you're picking 11, 12, 13. You're not picking 1 or 2.
That's all right. The thing is, a lot of times teams that do break out of a long-term doldrum, like Cincinnati, they picked number 1, and then they picked what was Jamar Chase, number 3 the next year?
Yeah, but then again, that's what I mean. Look at these teams, the Texans, the Jaguars, the Bengals. They've all done it.
Was there a trade there?
There was an injury, I think, to Burrow his rookie season.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Deron Payne destroyed him. Remember that?
Chase Young.
Chase Young wasn't. No. That was after. No, it was Deron Payne, and they sandwiched him and got him. That play Young didn't hurt him.
Chase was picked at 5. Okay, cool. Cheers, Pete. But yeah, it's one of them. I mean, they've got to go. These teams have done that. They've been perennially picking in the top 5, there or thereabouts. And you think, you know what? We might be there again next season. That's why the other week I preach patience. And we're not patient. We're not patient at all.
Deal. We're going to be real here. There could be up to 6 quarterbacks in the first round this year. That's how good this class is.
100% agree with you. Look, I think there's going to be 4 in the top 10.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be 4 in the top 10.
That's what I'm telling you. JJ McCarthy is moving up the draft boards. I'm being effing serious right now. This is the year. If you're picking in the top 5, this is the year to get a quarterback. Period.
Mm-hmm. Look at Bo Nix, Penix. There's another one. So you got McCarthy. You got McCarthy, Penix, Bo Nix. You've got Daniels. You've got May and Caleb Williams.
I'm going to kill me some dogs. Excuse me.
No, it's okay. This is it. I think that 3 or even 4 of them. There's definitely going to be 4 in the top 15. I know that.
Yeah, I think there's going to be 3 in the top 5. There's going to be 3 quarterbacks taken in the top 5.
So do you think Jaden Daniels goes to New England? Do you?
Yeah, I do, because these teams up the top, they're desperate, man. They're desperate for quarterbacks, and they have to. They have to because you have teams like the Raiders, you have teams like the Vikings that are right behind them. That if you let someone like that go by, yes, you're overdrafted. That's what I think. Jaden Daniels is a back into the first round quarterback. Okay, I've seen enough, but that's where I think I have him ranked at. But the amount of quarterback needy teams, you're going to have to draft him early, just like with the Drake May. Drake May's probably like the 15th best player in this draft, but there's too many quarterback teams that need, too many teams that need a quarterback that you have to draft him so high.
You're right, Jesse, because if you think about the way this goes, with we're saying they're 4 in the top 15, I think definitely. But quarterback is always going to be overdrafted as well because you need it, and you also get potentially new coach. Most of these teams who need a quarterback are going to have a new head coach. So you have a new head coach, and you have a fifth year option. That's massive in the quarterback game because everybody else who has a good quarterback is paying $50, $40, $60 million a year. What if they haven't got that coin to do that?
What if the new regime decides to use that number 2 on Joe Alt or on Marvin Harrison and picks up Kirk Cousins along the way?
I mean, Cousins got maybe a couple good years left in him. I don't think because you're gonna have to pay out the ass for him. I just don't see. Who
are you waiting for then?
I don't even know if it's a matter of that they would say, "All right, now this is purely hypothetical," and I'm just making it up on the fucking.
If Bill Belichick came to coach here, then I'd say that. But this team,
they might look at the roster and say this roster is good. We're going to build a little bit here on the offensive line. We're going to build a little bit here on the wide receiver. I'm just pulling it out of my ass and asking you hypothetically. What if they did?
John.
Oh, we get the full face now. I'm getting tough.
Come on. this roster.
Carson Wentz will be out there too. Let me throw that at you. Let me just go ahead and put Taylor Heineke might be available. Let me just.
Right. Oh, don't. It's giving me shivers.
No, look. I mean, I see a team like Atlanta, and that's what looks like. Bill's probably going to go to. They're a quarterback away from competing. Because they got a good defense.
That's the ideal landing spot for Justin Fields for me. That's where I think he ends up.
Genuinely, or I think Kirk Cousins is the ideal spot there. I think Kirk Cousins is the ideal landing spot for the Falcons. And if that happens, they're a Super Bowl contender.
Well, I mean, then the Raiders might pick up
Fields.
Justin Fields, because they're at 11 and they need a quarterback as well. I mean, honestly,
they might want to move up.
Garoppolo's just not the answer at all there, is he? So
they know that. They benched his ass.
I think the Raiders are the Raiders, the only team that they can move up, feasibly and get one of the top 3 quarterbacks is the Cardinals. And I think the Cardinals, because they've made, I think they've made it known that they're sticking with Kyler.
I would think they should. They got much better once he got back on the field.
Yeah.
They were at least competitive.
But that would be the only team I could see the Raiders making that jump, and they'd have to give up a heck of a lot to do that because I think they're eyeballing Marvin Harrison Jr. Right? That would be the move for them. They're like
Mark Davis is that stupid that he might do that.
Listen, hey. You never know what the penis head's thinking about because he's got a penis on his head.
I know what mine's always thinking about. But
your bell end.
Yeah, I just don't understand how a grown man can walk around looking like that. Unless it's one of those things like what was that gangster that used to walk around New York dressed up in his pajamas and his fucking he used to walk around Greenwich Village with his bathrobe on, wearing bedroom slippers, with this big freaking thug walking with him, and he would just act like he was crazy. Oh shit! He was a real famous name too. He was while he was walking around pretending to be this doddering, crazy old man. He was basically running the fucking family.
Oh yeah, he was. It wasn't until he went to this like fancy dinner with a meat like a really expensive fur coat.
They always knew. They knew. They were following him around with cameras forever, but they couldn't prove it.
We're talking about someone different. Yeah. Our buddy Scouse says, watch out for the Giants to move. I don't think so. I don't think they're moving on from Daniel Jones.
They're still investing a lot of money there.
That cap is ridiculous. The hit is outrageous.
John Mara.
The other thing is, what about Denver? Can they get out of Russell Wilson's contract?
I mean, they're going to.
They're going to pay a chunk of money to do it, but they are going to do that.
They're going to release him.
They're going to cut him.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson
but Mara Mara is him and Daniel Jones are like RG3 and Snyder, that close right now.
Sorry,
yeah, John Mara is not going to let Daniel Jones is that quarterback. Period.
Dude, you remember? Like I told you, this was a true story that John Mara was reported that after Jones got hurt, he wouldn't come out of his office at all. And they were getting worried about him. His staff was knocking on the door. He wouldn't answer the door. They left food out overnight for him. He wouldn't touch it. Dude, I hate that guy so much. I love it that he is so behind the 8 ball with this goddamn redneck Daniel goddamn Jones, who just, oh my God, the fact that he was sitting in his office that night crying for hours quietly into a towel makes me so happy.
I see Alt or Fashanu going to the Giants. They desperately need offensive line help majorly. So I think they're going offensive line.
It's bad though, isn't it? Because one year you always get a good quarterback class, then the next year you always get a good offensive lineman. It's just bad that this year both are available when
listen,
not in a position to take both.
There's like nine offensive linemen that have first round grades on them. Listen, we got early draft picks in the second round. I think we're going to get our offensive linemen in the second round. Offensive tackle. I'm talking about tackle. Now there's a lot of tackle.
Amarius Mims is a one for me. He's a very good.
This tackle draft class is very, very rich. I mean, there's 2 like absolute studs, which is Fashanu and Alt. But there's some that are really, really good. Look, his brother. What's our guard's brother? Our guard.
The guard, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul's brother out of Houston. He looks like a monster. He could be had early in the second round. We could package our second rounds together and get back up in the late first round and grab one. I think I think we're definitely going offensive tackle in the second round, and I think we're going to take. I think we're going to take Leno and move him to the right side.
JC Latham's very good as well. You know, out of Alabama, he's awesome. I mean,
look, they're going to have to figure out something to do with Gates and with Wiley. And I'm sorry, but the money that they paid him dictates they're not going to just sit on the fucking second string. I hope that they will.
If we can move Wiley inside, I think that would
left guard.
Yeah.
I think that might be
only 5 forwards there.
I think he's too highly paid to sit on the bench. So that's a mistake they're going to have to get on with.
I don't care how. I think this new coaching staff shouldn't care what they're making. If they're not good enough to play,
always hope so. But that's always on their. That's always going to be part of the bottom line. Hopefully that the new owners
was a 2-year deal, Peter.
Right. Hopefully the new owners say the same thing and say, look, man, this isn't our money. We're going to pay for it for the end, but you don't have to do anything about this, because that would suck.
One of Moran's mistakes was he worried about perception too much, you know, and that's why keeping Gates in at center for so long. Look, if you're paying them that money, I understand in one sense, but this new coaching staff did not sign these players. You know, whoever this new coaching staff is, they're not going to give a fuck. They're not going to give a shit. They're going to play the best players, and if they got to cut them, we got room to eat.
Now you know.
But he's a $5 million cap hit this year. That's a lot of money.
According to Brian Mitchell, they signed those two to subvert EB because everybody was out to get him. You know.
I mean, honestly, I still think Charles Leno gets cut. I mean, why would you keep? I don't understand that physically
you keep them because there's so many holes and you can only do so much.
Not to pay him $15 million. I'm sorry, Jesse. No, not to pay him $15 million. No, they won't do it. This is 1 year. You can cut him and save $7.5 million.
Okay. All right. Well, you either rework his contract or you cut him.
Good argument. I think that's the best argument.
You're saving $7.5 million.
Okay,
that's your entire draft class.
You rework the if he gets reworked, he obviously moving over. He doesn't have much of a choice. How many people are going to be dying to sign him? Okay,
I get that. I get that.
That's a smart thing to do. Then that's one less offensive lineman you got to worry about. You got 3 more.
But you got to think to yourself as well here. I would rather rework John Allen and find out exactly where he's going to be. Does he want to stay here? Does he not want to stay here? I'd maybe rework Terry for a little bit as well. You could try and rework Payne as well. I mean, there's ways
I don't think that
this cap go over 100 million. You can, there's ways of making it. I don't know. I think it's Jesse's earbuds are dying, I think. But exactly, Scouse, you're right. Leno already has 3 years void years on his contract. He did that last time round. He's not going to take a pay cut this year.
You're also at that point. You're throwing money after bad money because you've got to pay Wiley already anyway. You know, and
you're going to have the dead cap. If you cut him, see that's what doesn't make sense to me. You got to fucking pay. You're going to have dead cap anyway. So why not? Yeah, you can rework shit. You can. It's not impossible.
Down the road, that's all really
like get some use out of him. Like you're going to be paying
that. I do understand.
You know. That makes sense because Leno's not as bad as everybody thinks he is.
No, he's not. He played admirably this year. Not
17th best left tackle in the NFL last year.
Well, it's better than the 30th.
Centrally average, right? All right, so we got 10 minutes left in the show. Let's talk about the playoffs a little bit. What do you think? I tell you what, I thought that I think they've played out nicely, man. All 4 of these teams that are left are capable of beating all 4 of those teams that are left. I think this really looks fun as we head into the final weekend before the Super Bowl. I think that this week, I think the Buccaneers, the Texans, these are teams that were happy to be there. You know, they've got a lot to build.
Green Bay too.
Yeah, I was a big Packer fan going into the night, man, and it was looking all right there for a little while. And the Texans really, man, they hung tight until halftime, and then, good thing the Ravens put the squash on them because otherwise you'd really start talking about Lamar, the MVP.
I'm just so so stoked about the Lions, man. They deserve it, and I think they have a good chance of winning next week. I honestly do. Especially if Deebo Samuel does not play. It's 50-50. The 49ers offense does not look the same without Deebo Samuel. And if he's not on the field, they can be stopped. They definitely can't stop.
I think these offenses look very similar in terms of not necessarily their play calling but how they're built. The people that they have running these plays, they look very similar. The way that they get open and the way that they do things. I'm looking forward to that game. I think that the Packers, they played all right. Jordan Love kind of fell apart there at the end. I think that the fucking Buccaneers damn near did have the Lions until he threw an interception there. Baker threw the interception there. But, man.
He's going to get paid in the offseason by Tampa Bay, and that's fine.
They should. He's earned that job. I mean, shit. He took him within what was it, the final minute and a quarter that he threw that interception? I mean, they were still down, but
I'm beginning to really hate Patrick Mahomes.
I am too.
Tell you what,
and the whole Chiefs organization. I'm sick and tired of them. It's boring now.
Well,
boring.
We all sat through the fucking. You don't know, you guys. I sat through Tom Brady going.
The Patriots, I know.
We get somebody else, and before that, I sat through the Cowboys, and then I sat through the fucking Steelers and the 49ers. You sit through.
I grew to hate Tom Brady, and I'm growing to hate Patrick Mahomes.
Me too. But I'll give him this. That was a gutsy win.
I wanted the Bills to win so bad, just to get some new fresh blood in there.
Yeah, but the Bills are the Bills,
I hate. I'm beginning to hate the Ravens too. They're in that class with the NFC. We should be their big brother, not them, not the other way around. I don't like the Ravens whatsoever. I hope they tie. Fuck them.
Tell you what,
I just want the Lions to win. Really, I'm a Lions fan right now. I'm pulling for the Lions like I pull for the Commanders.
Thing is, Brock Purdy wasn't amazing the other night. He's fallible. He's fallible.
His best plays were on the last drive.
Yeah, he did not start the game well whatsoever. And I listen, the Lions 49ers game is going to be so good. Is that the late game?
It should be.
I don't know which way round it is. I want to know which way round it is.
Well, the Ravens are on the East Coast, Baltimore's on the East Coast, and the other one's on the West Coast. So, yeah, they'll do it like that.
Oh, fuck. That means we're going to miss the Lions game. Shit.
Turn the porn music off.
Sorry, I was just thinking about how much I would like each of these teams to fucking choke on the big one. I'm not rooting for anybody at this point in time. I just want to watch good football, and that's what we're getting. One thing I did put out that, some people were interested in and talking to me about was the fact that all weekend long we watch running backs, tight ends, and linebackers make play after play after play.
Yeah.
Running backs fucking icing games. You look at these running backs for the 49ers, you look at these running backs for the Lions, look at them go, man. And the tight ends making plays, not little 4-yard, little dinky fucking, we're going to throw it safe, making plays. Linebackers lancing in, making plays, fucking making tackle left after right, left after right, fucking interceptions. The guy for the 49ers had 2 interceptions, right? I wonder if Ron Rivera even watched these games, because I wonder if Eric Bieniemy watched these games, because I'm watching players make plays with positions that we definitely have good players in, or we thought we did, who can't do jack shit.
One last thing before we finish. I just want to shout out to my wife and say thanks very much for coming to bed after your night shift and waking me up at 5:10 in the morning and saying, the Chiefs won. Thanks for that, love, seeing as I never saw it. Thank you.
Hey, idiots. I
was like, you fucking what? No, why have you told me that? I was all looking forward to getting up and watching it and thinking, I'll watch the 40-minute highlight, the game in 40. That'll do. I'll watch that. Sit in the car before work. I'll maybe give that a watch. Nah, I've already found out. Cheers.
The best part about what would happen if my wife came in and did that, she would go, hey, the team won, the one that wears the helmet with the shoe. What? That's what my wife does to me all the time. She said to me the other day, hey, you remember that movie, that one with that guy? I'm like, fuck, what? What? So, yeah, I think what I am actually is some kind of big fucking long-running Chinese psyop experiment where she's just slowly trying to drive me insane with questions. They're marking down on. Yeah. Sorry, she's arguing with me now. All right, so we've got 2.5 minutes left. You took us off the rails. Thank your wife.
That's John sleeping on the couch, but yeah.
Not me. Nah, I don't do that. But I will say this. We've got 2.5 minutes to go, Scott, since we have to come in at exactly 60 minutes. Otherwise, I'd say, hey,
of course, yeah.
We're going to let you go right now because it's been a good day. It's been a good night. I've had a good time. There's Jesse's ass. And wow, Jesse sits on a gigantic Fred Flintstone hand.
Yeah, it's a bounce. That's a bouncy seat.
It looks like what it is. All right.
My lazy boy.
Nice. Okay, fair enough.
We bought a lazy boy from my dog. It was for me.
So when
my dog took it.
Do we think we'll have a head coach in the next? Very nice
logo in the NFL right there.
No, that meant to, okay. We got
come on now.
That logo is
2 minutes
so
to talk
fucking,
about this.
All right, yeah. Look, here. I tell you what.
Awful.
Let me show you this. It is bad. It is bad.
No.
That is a secondary logo. That's good.
Yeah, I like the logo that's on the back of it.
Dude, this is a fucking stencil with a can of yellow spray paint. The Matt helmet looks great, and then they do this to it. There's no imagination to this.
Dude, how can you fluff up a fucking W? Like, seriously.
You do something other than a W. We saw logo designs come across Twitter all summer that year.
Yeah.
Right? It looked great. Whether I'm not even talking about
what did LJ say? The furry.
No, not the Red Wolves, not the Wolves. I'm talking about other things that had the monument incorporated.
Yeah, exactly.
Map. I think my favorite one had the map of DC incorporated into it. So something with some style, man. That's just like, oh hey,
I love the W. I'm gonna get it.
I told you.
My fucking belt.
Worked as a designer in this city for a long time, And I worked in sports as a designer, and the word was always, you don't work for Snyder. You can't work for him. So, yeah, he ends up with bad people who make bad shit like that. And
you know what's weird is I actually really like, I mean, my favorite Washington Commanders bit of gear that I've got is that black hoodie that's got the logo on, even though it's got the wrong years on. It's a collector's item.
Hold that up again.
But
hold that up again, Jesse. Sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
No, yeah, I'm just saying I love that, but I think that's because I'm used to having a soccer club logo, and I look at it and go, do you know what? I like the club logo, and that Washington Commanders round badge is really great. I like it.
I like that too. Now, see what Jesse's holding up right there with the gold around the red. I like that. That's a good secondary logo. Like if you look at the Bears, okay, somebody, I think it was
the Bears the bear itself, the bear logo.
Right, but that's their secondary logo. The C is their logo, right?
No.
Well, you know, the thing about the Bears, somebody else brought up the Packers, and you know what? But they created those logos in the 20s, not the 2020s, 100 years ago. So, you know, there's something iconic about that.
I don't know, anything more foo than what it is right now. It looks like an XFL or like a youth football. Like, and it's just
that thing looks like a freaking high school team.
I honestly, I don't like the W. I really don't.
Not the one on the helmet. Look,
as an interim thing,
there's no accent around it. The one that Jesse was holding up with, at least it has the two colors. That's a nice secondary logo. But as a helmet,
so have you got
the 7 colors also on your uniform? I think too. So I wonder if it was.
Have you got the football? Have you got the Washington football team logo on the skin on the mini helmets behind you, John? Have you got them? Because I can see the Redskins and the Commanders one.
I just have these two. I mean, I'm not spending money on a goddamn red helmet with a number on the side. That's
I know that, but that was a W as well, though, wasn't it? The logo.
I don't know what the logo was. They didn't have one, did they? Well, I think it was very similar to this. They kind of almost.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was like a W, almost like that. Yeah. But I just think someone's got to get a grip of it. Ooh.
There you go.
Is there an actual W on it? There's not, is there?
No, not on the helmet. There wasn't. They didn't have any.
No,
it's just numbers.
The numbers. This one I got for a season ticket purchase with John Allen's signature. John Allen signed it.
See, there's nothing on there. There's no pizzazz. There's no, there's not even.
I just think that there's a lady who does on a TikTok or whatever does redesigns of NFL logos. She does a good job. I've seen the one for the Commanders, and it incorporates the monument and stuff. And I think, it looks quite smart. There's lots of stuff out there that they need to not necessarily rebrand, but just if they're going to stick the name, that's fine. Let's.
I like the W, damn it. Ain't nothing wrong with
that. Putting that tweet out there. Right,
it does look like a taco tray. You're right, Deluxe.
Watch.
You said it looks like a taco tray. He's right.
Look, the fun thing was for the people that were coming at me like, God damn it, you people need to get over it. It's like, dude, it's just fucking Sunday morning, man. I'm just fucking talking about this. Jesus. One guy said, I'd like to see what you can do. And I was like, okay, well, this is what I do. I'm a graphic designer for 25 years. Here's what I do. Well, I didn't say you couldn't do it. I just wanted to see what you could do. Oh, well, really?
I think that's a bit ironic, seeing as we've got a Star Wars themed W in the background.
Now that it's animated, I don't know what to do with it. So
but even so, the bleeding Burgundy logo is better than the W. Let's be honest. That is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I like that. The right-hand side. I think
I designed that too. So there, whoever you were.
But yeah.
All right, I got to piss. So we'll see y'all.
Fair enough.
Well, wait a minute. I got to do the piss dance.
MS Word and Art screensaver.
All right, everybody. We'll be back, I guess, on Friday to make some picks for the AFC and NFC championship, and we might only
find out how much we've lost.
We'll find, because I got my ass kicked again this weekend. The playoffs.
The parlays are getting crazy. Y'all have a 7-fold touchdown parlay. I'm like looking at Jesse.
Although I didn't do bad in the bet, in the real bet on Saturday.
Garcon, take the card, please. All right then. I've got to take a leak, so we'll see y'all next time here on the Bleeding Birdie podcast.